All right. So we ran a show that allowed us to do a little bit of modification on some cars, and we're gonna finish it off at another show for the same production guys, Spinning Wheels. If you guys haven't run one of their shows, they're the best ones out there. Fair rules all the way across the board. I think they actually take pride in making their buddies cut stuff off, but it is what it is. So, needless to say, I'm no pro by any means. I've run some shows, I've had some luck, I've had some bad luck. So, like anybody else, I'm just out there just smashing cars and having fun. But that being said, if I am allowed to do some modifications to a car, I am not the guy that is going to go out there and spend stupid money on mod parts. Don't get me wrong, there's some good companies out there that make some amazing stuff, and I do use their stuff that I can't make quick and easy by myself. If you don't have the time, I highly recommend Jeffy's Fab Farm. They're absolutely amazing. As always, there's a few others, Tanked, so it makes some wicked stuff as well. So back to it, if I am allowed to do modifications on a car, the first thing I need to do is make sure that my tie rods are going to be solid. So what I like to do is a piece of 1-inch angle iron. I go from the head of the tie rod back up and up next to the boot. I weld 1 inch on, 1 inch off, give or take. That one's a little bit wider, but that's kind of my goal. I want this thing too, if it has to bend, it bends. But if it doesn't have to bend, it doesn't bend. And if it breaks, then something really bad happened. I do like to do out the ball joints if I can. I'm not a big fancy ball joint guy, but I don't know what the guy that owned this car did to it in the past 200 miles. He might have been letting his 16-year-old, God knows what, son, daughter run into curbs for the past year. So I don't take my chances with that kind of stuff. The other thing I like to do is there are some natural crease points in every car that we have found, and we find these by smashing them and seeing where they bend. There is a pocket right here in front of the strut. If I can weld a patch, that is where I weld a patch. Yes, that is crappy welding. I am lazy, and prep time is 70% of a weld, and I give it about 30% of my effort. But it holds, and it stops that crease from creasing. Yes, it's going to bend somewhere else, but that's what I like to do. Also on my bumpers, I like to mount them just like this. I prefer a nice flat bumper. That's a preference. Honestly, I've seen guys have a lot better luck with a narrower bumper. I feel like my flat bumper might put a little bit too much stress onto my frame, but that's what I've been doing. That's what I've been having luck with, so I'm keeping with it until it starts really annoying me enough to change it. Short of that, we're doing a caliper swap here because we run skids in this show and we stole them for another car. We also make sure we cut this tab off. When everything starts to bend and stuff, the last thing you want to do is have that digging into the side of your car. A lot of guys are pounding a piece of square tubing right here to keep that strut straight as can be. I'm totally all about that. Our strut, on the other hand, although it appears 150% stock as stock can be, if you go to the back side of this strut, there is a piece of 1 inch round tubing cut in half, welded from the base of the cup all the way to the base of the strut. 99% of the time our struts will bend right here. And by strengthening above it and below it for the 3 inches that we got, it's still gonna bend. Now, do I want my struts to bend? Yes, I do, and I know that sounds weird, but if it doesn't bend, it's gonna break somewhere. I'm not the guy that believes that a full track shot from a buddy of mine when he's got a grin on his face ear to ear is gonna be stopped by a built strut. It's gonna bend somewhere else. So I want this to bend, but I want it to not bend when Joey Fufu in a Ford Escort wagon that built it in 10 minutes hits me. So that's what I like to do. I keep a pair of these built up all the time. They're quick, they're easy. There's some guys making some stock appearing struts, and they'll be the first ones to tell you, yep, we guarantee them until you get hit. So are they tough? Yeah, I'm sure they are. I've seen some of the new stock appearing ones getting tore out here, and that sounds like it's going to be a real pain in the butt for me to fix, especially if I'm trying to stay stock appearing. A lot of these bolt holes rip out, but I'm sure it can be done. But this is just what we do. Pretty basic build. I'm not a big fancy guy as far as building stuff. We keep it simple. I run all my wires over my dash. I like that because when things go wrong, I don't want to have to be wondering if something's chafing on something. I'm not a fancy guy with cutting out my windshields. If I can put an extra hour into a car, it is not going to be hanging out with my best buddy pulling a piece of slide rope back and forth. I know there are tools that do it and everything else, but I am a quick and easy build guy, and I do what works for me, and I don't put any time into anything extra that isn't going to make it stronger or last longer. My cage is pretty basic. Dash bar, back bar, crease bar. We fold up nice. This one's still got a good solid run left in it. We're gonna go and open it up a little bit. We're pretty well known as guys that lay back a little bit and look for checks, but I'm a firm believer, and if you are a derby guy, you know what your car has and what you should be doing. If you have a feature winner, go out there and make it a feature winner. If you've got a car that you believe is not a feature winner and you think you can get a Mad Dog out of it, go out and get yourself a Mad Dog. If you are just out there to support your local derby crew, want to see your promoter get another car and have a great day with some like-minded people, then go out and do that. Just enjoy yourself, keep the sport alive, and remember that everybody out there is your buddy. We're all building the same stuff. Have a good time, folks. Good luck. Anybody needs anything, send me a message.